Hello, families. This is Miss Spencer, and I'm here at home to talk to you a little bit about something you might be wondering about, which is what is your kid learning at school about spelling? So I'm going to kind of keep this short, but also be very clear. In the past, probably when you were in school, and certainly when I was in school, we learned spelling in a different way than we are teaching and assessing spelling these days. In the past, there was a lot of memorization. You may remember getting a spelling list on Monday and having a test on Friday. Some teachers are still doing it that way. Because I am a literacy specialist, I've spent a lot of time thinking and learning about how children learn to read and spell. The assignments that I give in third grade are based on years of research about typical stages that children go through as they learn to read and spell longer words. If you are interested in more about the particular stages in this journey, I encourage you to Google Words Their Way. Words Their Way. It's the name of one program that is really built on that set of research. It's not the only one, but it's a pretty good place to start understanding what we know about how children learn to look at text. So, that said, I can tell you that early on, many children learn to spell by connecting letters with sounds, and that sounds obvious, right? So they hear b, 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 and now they can spell the beginning of the word bear pretty easily because B is a sound and a letter that has a pretty, what I'm calling, transparent relationship. By that I just mean B is almost always spelled with the letter B. By the time we hop to third grade, the typical issues that kids are having have to do with vowels. And in particular, the problems have to do with long vowels. Children have trouble reading multisyllable words that contain long vowel patterns and writing words that have long vowels. Now this is in part because English does have, compared to some other languages, more variety, let's say, in the ways to spell certain sounds. However, if your child can master a couple of very broad principles, they will be well on their way to being able to decode or sound out almost any word they encounter and to spell a word that is at least readable by anyone, what we call long vowels and short vowels. Now this seems obvious to us as adults, but to children, talking about long vowel sounds and short vowel sounds is pretty mystifying because it turns out there isn't really anything long or short in terms of the sounds. I can say the short A sound ah for a long time, ah, or I can say the long sound of A for a short time, A. So it's typically kind of a little more than tricky. It's difficult for kids to understand what the heck we're talking about when we're talking about long and short vowel sounds. So teachers should learn to talk about the vowel sounds as they sound in the alphabet song. So when a vowel says its name, what we mean is the name that we give it as we sing the ABC song. A, B, C, D, E. So A is what we're calling the long sound of the letter A. It's important that kids understand that this really is a kind of arbitrary name. I think some people's spelling confidence has been compromised by thinking that they didn't understand something that isn't really true. It's just an arbitrary label. Anyway, I'll talk more about this in the next video.